Cash, and you're listening to my buddy Jimmy Deal. Keep those tunes rocking, Jimmy.
And this is the Jimmy Deal Celebrity Spotlight Show. In today's show, we have our special guest and friend. And I mean, when I call her friend, she's such a sweetheart of a person. She's amazing. Lee Newton, singer-songwriter. Welcome to the Jimmy Deal Show.
Oh, gosh, guys, I'm so glad to be back. I mean, I'm telling you that it's always been one of my favorite interviews to do. Start with you, Gene, and now with Jimmy. And then I had you guys both the last time. And I just could not wait for this interview. I was looking forward to it so much.
Thanks so much. You know, so much has happened since the last time we talked to you. I mean, your marriage, of course, to Dale. The wedding was absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
Tell us about that wonderful day there at Johnny Cash's Hideaway Farm.
Oh, my gosh. It was for one, it was such a magical day.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it was probably the hottest day of the whole year. Everybody was sweating, but everybody was such troopers. But I'm telling you, we had probably close to 500 guests that showed up, and people who had just, followed both of us separately, followed both together, fell in love with our love story. And people came from Japan and England and California. I mean, we had people from everywhere. We had people that was dressed up as the pirates. They do the pirate invasion here in North Carolina. We had moonshiners. I mean, you name it. I mean, we had Luna, the Music City dog, and I'm telling you, it breaks my heart because she just passed away yesterday.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
She was like the mascot of Music City Bar and Grill, and she was such a sweetheart. And she was there at the wedding too, and but yeah, little Cashman walked me down the aisle, and my older kids were there, and just I could not have felt any more like a princess than what I did. I mean, Dale really went way over and beyond to make sure that every little sweet thing that could be done was done. I mean, he was kind of like the bride and all this. He's the one that had the websites and finding little ideas, and because I was trying to, I was in the middle of releasing the gospel album, so that was, I just finished that. Then I got to focus on the wedding. So just thank God we had a lot people that helped us. We had all of our friends, Sandy and Benita and Vicky, and they all come together, and Grace and Jim came out from California. And it was just a great day. I will never ever forget it. It was magical.
Right. Tell us a little bit about the farm. The farm has a lot of memorabilia on there, right?
It does. Johnny Cash himself said that it was the center of the universe. That's what his little quote was about this place. And it truly, there's something about it. There's such a magic there. He had it for 30 years. And I know I had my CD release party there for Unleashed, for my album there. And and I actually did one of the songs, the honors of it, of the Johnny Cash Farm, who have redone everything and made it just kind of restored everything and have kept it going. Brian and Sally Oxley, I actually recorded the one song, Don't Say I Do, that Brian wrote. And that's how ended up getting in with him. And so we had the CD release party there. And if you look at the song of Dale and I's for the Meet Me Under the Mistletoe, it was filmed there at the Johnny Cash Farm. One of my other duet partners, Tony Jackson, and I just opened for Randy Travis. They had a song, do you remember Country Music? And it was filmed at the Johnny Cash Farm. But there is there's just a feeling there. They have, the house is there. Everything that's in it literally belonged to Johnny Cash. Everything is set up. There's so much memorabilia there. They actually have the museum on down. They have the one-of-a-kind car that's there. And actually they had, if you see the wedding video, there is a Cadillac, is a red Cadillac convertible. And it had the Elvis tag on the front of it. And they actually drove me up in the convertible and let me get out to walk down the aisle. And that's what we drove off in. And I walked into the Elvis, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Right.
And our preacher, Steve, he is an Elvis impersonator. And actually behind him, Johnny Cash, the farm itself, they had bought the actual iron gates that came from Colonel Tom Parker. So if you look at our wedding video, we have like, Steve who looks like Elvis, he's got his black on and he's marrying us, and there's Colonel Tom Parker's gates. I mean, it was just an amazing day. But there's so much stuff to see there. They bring stuff in, they sell it. They did have Minnie Pearl's Cadillac. I think I'm wanting to say, I can't remember. One of the guys bought it. One of the newer country artists, and he had drove it to the Opry when he played there that night. He bought Pearl's Cadillac from there. They have Johnny Paycheck's limo.
Really?
They just have some really awesome memorabilia. Just a great place to go. We didn't even have to really do much decorating because it's just beautiful within itself.
Right. And everybody brought something to the wedding, right? Like
they did.
Food and tell us about that.
Well, the ladies I was mentioning to you, they done all barbecue. They did the pulled pork or the Boston butts. And so everybody that came brought a covered dish because, people are like, how are you going to do your wedding? I mean, are you going to invite people? Are you going to keep it little? I'm like, well, there's no way that we could possibly do this big of a wedding, and how are we going to pull it off,
Yeah, of course.
And so me and Dale were talking, and we were talking about like this covered dish thing, like maybe a Sunday in the South, but it being a Saturday,
right?
And it worked. Everything went perfect. We had a band. We had everybody bringing these dishes in. I mean, we had a lady, she brought cheese, like a big thing of all these cheeses from where she lived. And, and if people didn't, they even, they brought pizza for the kids. And we just wanted everybody to be comfortable and enjoy themselves. And we didn't put restrictions like on anybody taking pictures. Just as long as they were respectful, we gladly wanted them to capture their moments, capture everything. And it was just beautiful. Wow. I could go on, as you can tell, I could just go on.
So awesome. I know you're a little obsessed with Christmas too, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about your Christmas music set that you have.
Yes, I mean, don't you just love it? I mean, I've got the fireplace.
Beautiful. It looks beautiful.
And the Christmas tree that I put up just a few days after Halloween. I'm one of those people. But honestly, I think that it spawns from, I know we've talked about it before, my childhood, my dad, he's a cab driver. I grew up really, really, really poor. And everybody has their story, and that's what makes them the person they are. But I grew up a lot of times not even having a Christmas tree, and I grew up a lot of times not having any presents underneath the tree. Wow. I remember a couple of years my dad gave me $10, and I was probably like in second grade, running, going into the little store and buying my own Christmas and taking it home and wrapping it. So my memories of my dad at Christmas time was riding around with him in the cab.
Oh, really?
And he would take me around. And I remember one Christmas, I was probably like 5, and it was Christmas Eve, and it was snowing, and we were riding around, and I would always sit up in the middle because back then they didn't really care about seatbelt laws and stuff. Right. But I was sitting in the middle with him, and we was riding around listening and singing all the Christmas carols, and it started snowing.
Right.
And thinking back to that, we didn't have anything underneath the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking back to that moment, and being a parent myself, I remember my dad, we didn't have nothing. And I can only imagine what my daddy was thinking to himself. He had two girls, my sister's 8 years older than me, but thinking, oh gosh, what am I going to do with these girls? I don't have nothing to put underneath the tree. And there was, to find out later, when we woke up that next morning, we had a jacket, a blue jacket. I'll never forget it. It was a blue puffy jacket. Right. And there was a bunch of stuffed animals lined the couches, because me and my sister had come back home and put the couches together, and we had laid there and slept. And when we woke up, there was a bunch of stuffed animals, and some man had gave them to my daddy that night. to put them out. So, but that was the best. That's one of the Christmases I remember as a child. So I go all out on Christmas, maybe a little bit too much, but hey, you can never have too much Christmas. And I was named after Brenda Lee. So
That's what I was asking.
hello.
You know, that's so cool.
And today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Brenda Lee.
Happy birthday, Brenda Lee.
Brenda Lee,
One day, I hope and pray that I get to meet her. But I was like, man, she's gone and gotten even more famouser.
Number one on the
The number one Christmas song and Billboard. And I'm like, yeah, I probably will never get to meet her now.
You know, for Lee, for that reason too, about being in the one movie that caught everybody's eye, which was Home Alone.
Yes.
Everybody knew the song for years and everybody loved it, but that one movie made it even bigger than what it was.
I know, and it's like, and I'm so thankful and so happy for her, and seeing the emotion when they have told her that, and seeing the tears, you know, because I mean, of course, everybody knows Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. It's been forever, but you know, like you said that the movie brought it out. But I think that, you know, seeing her out, and she's so darn adorable. I just love seeing all these videos they've been putting. They finally made a video to it after all these years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so proud for her. And I'm so happy for her. Like that's really, really huge. And what such class of Mariah Carey sending her flowers. That's true class right there. That was pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's a classy lady for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So Brenda Lee, or if anybody that knows Brenda Lee, please, it's on my bucket list.
She did a Christmas show down in Atlantic City, and I got to hang out with her backstage one time, which was really fun.
I'm so jealous.
I'm jealous too.
I'm jealous.
No, I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Nice lady. But tell us about your Christmas CD.
Oh my gosh. Well, the Christmas CD is something just, you know, it's nothing. I'm not even putting it out on Spotify. It's in the Christmas package that's going out now. The Holly Day, the Christmas holidays. You know, I always have to play on the word Lee, you know. But yeah, it was done live at the Firehouse Inn.
Yes.
And so it's got just your good old, it's got Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, and it's got Silver Bells and Run Run Rudolph. It's got Silent Night, and it's got just a few of just the great Christmas classics. And you know, I have never released a CD for Christmas before,
right?
So I wanted to do something special for Christmas for everybody. So I did the Christmas CD and live at the Firehouse Inn, which is a beautiful place that it's here in Rutherford County, and such a beautiful place. I've done several photo shoots there and some lives there, and they've always been so kind to me. Nice.
Now, is the Christmas CD available? Can anyone get the CD?
It is. If you go to my website, LeeNewtonOfficial.com, you can go on there. It is under the link. I have like the merchandise, like the Lee Newton store, but under the new merchandise, I have several things that are new that I've gotten. I've actually, other than the CD, I've partnered. Can I say that right? Or is that I really North Carolina it up, didn't I?
That's okay. Right. We know what you mean.
Yeah, I partnered with Unforgotten Heroes, and they are an organization that works with providing for the families of all the servicemen, the military, the fire, the police department, and the ones that have been wounded, and that, you know, they've not been forgotten. We you know, everything that's been sold from them, everything that they do in their organization helps give back to them and their families. And so I've actually got it right here. They just sent me some of these, and it's super cool. It's got coffee. You know how I love coffee.
Right.
And so here's the big bag. It's the Unforgotten Heroes blend, and it's the Lee Newton.
Nice.
Cool. And then they have several different ones too, if I can get it going on here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. They have, you know, the chocolate caramel, the Patriots pecan, the Heroes hazelnut. I mean, you name it, they've got it. But but I actually have my own label of
Isn't
coffee.
that so cool? Come on. Isn't that cool? Coffee named after you. Come on.
Well, I mean, like, and that's me. I mean, like, I will not stand behind something that I can't literally get excited about. And I get excited about this because you know how much I love coffee. And when they mentioned about me doing this with them and partnering with them, I have the tumblers too, which are available on the website. So the first batch that I got, I do a lot for the veterans and for the Marines here. And so I did a thing for raising money for the veterans here in Rutherford County. And so the Marines that have been just my buddies, I gave them all coffee and their own mug that had this right here on there.
Oh, wow. Check that out.
So it's pretty cool. And like I said, they've always allowed me to be a part of everything that they've done with, whether it be for the veterans or whether it be for Toys for Tots, which I'm huge advocate for them. I love being able to help little kids because I know what it's like being that little kid, not having something for Christmas or any time through the year. So I always try to help the kids. And yeah, so but yeah, that's a huge one that I've gotten to partner with. And my gosh, there's been so much that's happened since we've talked. I mean,
know. Yeah,
I got sponsored or endorsed by Breed Love.
Wow.
Breed Love Guitars. So they've jumped on board, and now I'm a Breed Love Pro artist now.
Nice.
Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then been working on the new album. So there's just a lot. I just won Artist of the Year at the Josie Music Awards.
I saw that.
Which was held at the Grand Ole Opry.
That is so cool.
And guess who closed out the show as a performer?
Oh, I believe it had to be you.
And guys, how much that meant to me. My dad, him passing away when I was 11, he used to set me up on the coffee table, and I'll tell it all the time, but he set me up on the coffee table, and he called me Brenda because that's what my name was. And he'd say, Brenda Lee, you're going to be on that stage of the Opry one day. And you know what? I finally got to have that moment with my daddy. And there was nothing else like it. And my husband, Bill, had got me this replica of my daddy's cab driver's hat.
Oh, wow.
And it had a badge that looked identical to my daddy's badge, but it had Carolina on the top of it. Nice. And so I did the song Carolina, and I actually got to sing the last few lines that pertain to being on the Opry stage and making my daddy proud.
Nice.
And they put my daddy's hat on a mic stand next to me as I sang, and the hat sat there, and it was perfect. I mean, the band was amazing. I had Wendell Cox, who plays with Travis Tritt. He had literally come in off the road from playing with Travis to play with me that night. I had Mike Rogers, who plays with Ricky Skaggs. He played drums. Joe Reed, who played with Merle Haggard. He plays with Leroy Parnell. He played with me. And then I had my Emerald Butler, who is my fiddler. I love her so much.
Wow.
But it was perfect. Everything about that night was perfect. It couldn't have been any more perfect.
Absolutely. And you work with some great producers down in Nashville, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, my other albums, which is the Undamaged, the Unleashed, which is my country albums, they were produced by Bill McDermott, who produced, Tim McGraw and Martina McBride, Emmylou Harris. He's worked with so many. And I worked with Larry Strickland and Bill McDermott on my Crossroads album, which I was so proud of because it is my gospel album. And I had duets with Joe Bonzel with the Oak Ridge Boys, and Rhonda Vincent, and T. Graham Brown, and Tony Jackson, Deborah Allen, Kay Shipley, and I love her so much. Oh my gosh, Catherine Shipley is my best friend, and she just beat cancer. And she's cancer-free.
Nice.
And there's also a duet with my husband on there, and Little Cash Man is at the end.
Oh, that's so cool.
My dad, and that's the Crossroads. That's this one.
Okay, I got to get that one.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
gonna
to
send
get on.
you guys. That's why I've got these out. We'll get your addresses. I'm gonna send you because I've got all of these. I got my
Autograph them too.
I will. I promise you. That's why I put them out here now. I'm going to do it. But
Thank you.
yeah, so I worked with him. So on this new album, I will be having my first release coming up within the next week and a half. It's called Carolina Rain. But I went into the studio to work. Drum roll, please. With Kent Wells, Dolly Parton's producer, and Dave Fowler, who is such an amazing musician, producer. He has played with, Lori Morgan. He's on the road now with Artemis Pyle. They just got through, his band just got through playing on the Rockstar album too, and on the Artemis Pyle band album, the song with Dolly, which, and they've done so many, and it's getting ready to release in February. But Kent Wells and Dave Fowler, this album, which will be called Carolina Rain, it's going to be, I'm still, of course, staying with my roots and who I am. But you guys are going to be surprised. They really kind of pushed me a little bit. They're challenging me, and I'm taking the challenge, and I love it. You guys are just, I can't wait for you guys to hear this. Because we're still recording it. Like I said, it should be out probably late March, early April. That's what I'm hoping for. And I've had so many sponsors come forward that's helped me, because everything else so far, other than a few things that I've had people step up and help me, it's been pretty much self-funded. But this album, I've had several people that has done the packages, and in a part, because what I want to do is be able to put everybody their name on it. If it's a business, they get their logo inside. I want them, and of course I have a big sponsor, which is the Pigeon River Outfitters, which is in North Carolina, and they have really went above and beyond, and I'm very, very proud to say that they're my sponsor. And so I'm getting ready to go back in the studio in January to do 3 more, and then in February again, and then hopefully the album will be completed.
So awesome. Looking forward to that. Can't wait for that.
You guys are going to love it. I'm telling you. The song Carolina Rain, I did not write it. Tommy Barnes, who wrote Indian Outlaw for Tim McGraw, he's wrote so many. He's just an amazing songwriter. But he had wrote the song off of my Unleashed album, If I Was a Man. Okay. And I've heard this song a couple years, about 2.5 years ago, when Dale played it for me. And I'm like, it took me that long just to get past listening to it without crying, to be able to sing it, and I'm like, I'm going to record that and put it on an album one day. I don't know when, but I'm going to record it. And I kept saying it. And so I ended up singing it when I opened up for Lori at my hometown. I did a concert over in my hometown. First time I ever got to play in my hometown my whole life. And I did that song, and oh man, what a magical moment it was. And so I was like, okay, I've got to record this song. That'll be the first single. That's what the album's going to be. It's my song. But him and Charlie Floyd had wrote that song almost 20 years ago, and nobody else has recorded it. And it's been sitting there waiting on me.
There you go.
It's been waiting on this Carolina girl to do Carolina Rain. But yeah, already working with a videographer. We're already talking about the video, and as you know, I'm very involved in everything I do. I love, the photography side of it. I love the promotion. I love the songwriting. I love having my hands right in it, because that's where all the creativity is. And so I've already got the whole concept for the video, and it's going to be so awesome. I just can't wait.
When do you relax? Do you ever relax?
A little bit.
A little bit. You sit around and watch Christmas movies.
I don't turn on the TV.
Not at all. Wow.
If you had me try to turn this TV on right now, you know how you guys are. You have like 3 or 4 remotes to get one turned on. I cannot turn this TV on right now if you wanted me to.
Wow.
But Cash will have it on. He'll watch his little Bluey or whatever. And when Dale's, when we're together, I do love getting a big thing of popcorn.
Aww.
And we started watching. We'll get into like a series, and I'll sit there and watch a little bit with him. But I've never been much of a TV watcher.
See, that's why you're really creative, because you're your own TV.
I entertain myself. Believe me.
So great. I love it.
Anybody that will paint a whole. I mean, it is so funny because my best friend K-Ship, she was telling her friend, she's like, girl, she didn't just paint like a little section as a fence to be able to put our Christmas stuff up. She painted the whole fence, which was like, it's about like a mile long. And I mean, I'm out there painting that whole fence to be able to put up all of our stuff.
So awesome.
I like the fact that you can tell people you have 5 Christmas trees.
Of course.
I mean, that to me, that's just amazing. One in each room, and each one decorated differently with
yes.
With
and the one here, I've got one over here because we have at the top level of our house, we have 3 windows, like 3 big windows, and the one in the middle, I have that one kind of is decorated. Dale and I have become the Meet Me Under the Mistletoe couple. We have, with our Christmas song we released last year.
Right.
Everybody started sending us mistletoe, meet me under the mistletoe. They had stuff made for us that said, Dale and Lee, meet me under the mistletoe. So that has become like the mistletoe tree. And then of course, Cash, he wanted the white tree. I don't know. He always wanted a white tree, so we done the white tree, and it's really cute because I've got he wanted baby blue on it, and I had found this really cool ornament that was handmade, and it's got Mama Tried on it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Merle Haggard ornament. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, and the one downstairs, of course, because downstairs we have our green screen studio, and we have our practice area, and we have our offices, stuff like that. And so we do a lot down there. So as far as music, everything, everywhere you turn around. So the Christmas tree I have there is right next to a big stand up of Merle and a big stand up of Waylon Jennings. So
that's great. I love that video with Santa visiting Cash. Tell us a little bit about that.
I heard little pitter patter of footsteps. So Santa, aka Dennis Shep, called out of the blue and said, I'm about an hour and a half away, because he was visiting other little kids, and wanted to make a special surprise visit for Cash.
Oh, nice.
And so we're here, and all of a sudden, Santa Claus shows up at our door incognito, because he was driving a little red truck. I mean, but he had, a big sack of candy and all kinds of coloring books and everything for Cash. And we got to take some to the neighbors. So we got to walk down, and I made him coffee. He drank Lee Newton's coffee.
Wow.
And he loved it.
What I loved about that was I didn't know Santa had a Southern accent, so I learned something there.
He did. He had a Southern accent. I think it's wherever he's at.
Yeah. He changes his voice.
He
adopts to the voice.
He does. Yeah. He goes with whatever voices, the kids, Exactly. And of course, we've ended up with 3 elves here at the house. So we've got Lucky, who was a carryover from the St. Patty's Day, Lucky elf. We have Jelly Bean, and then Jelly Bean got a girlfriend.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, Jelly Bean got a girlfriend this year. Yeah. So we got them, and we got elf pets. I mean, you name it. We have. Today was reindeer day at school. So
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
yeah, today was reindeer day at school. So got Cash up and got him. We lost our power last night,
Yeah.
Which didn't stay off too long, but it was enough it made us kind of running behind this morning. But got him ready to be a reindeer, and he wanted to be a Krispy Kreme.
Oh, did he?
Worker reindeer. So he had his little Krispy Kreme hat on and his antlers and all that. So, but I just, speaking of the power, I just, wanted to say so many prayers to everybody in Clarksville and Hendersonville. I mean, like there was so many of my friends and stuff that live close or around, and thank God, everybody that I have checked in on has been okay. But oh my gosh, like it's so devastating.
Yeah.
Just, people that are probably still without power and their homes destroyed. And I mean, and that's just so scary because, me and Cash and Dale, I mean, we go back and forth to Nashville a lot.
Right.
So, just thinking about being on the roads like that a lot and driving, and it's my fear of running into all the bad storms, driving back and forth, because it's about a 6-hour drive there and a 6-hour drive back. So
yeah, and the super chief, right?
Well, sometimes the super chief goes. Sometimes it's just the good old little car that's good on gas.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that bus. I know it's Merle's bus, right? You told us a little bit about it last time.
Super Chief, was owned by Merle Haggard, and Dale, he got it almost 4 years ago now, I would say. And Merle is most definitely on that bus.
Yeah, tell us about that. A lot of spiritual activity, I know.
Yes. It was right after I had recorded Working Girl Blues on the Unleashed album. And that song was the only cover that I had done on that whole entire album. But Dale had introduced me to the Working Girl Blues with Leona Williams. So I had recorded that with Leona Williams, who was married to Merle Haggard, which I absolutely love Leona. She's like, to me, she's the queen of country. I will say it in every interview. I love her so much. And she's kind of become like a bonus mom to me. Right. Actually, we have her picture right up there. She's just, she's our family. But I recorded with her and Pam Tellis. Leroy Parnell was on the slide. Eugene Moles played. Joe Reed, they played with Merle. And so we're sitting on the bus, and it had been sitting in Nashville at one place in, I guess the batteries, everything was dead. Because I told Dale, I was like, there's no way this could have happened right here. And I mean, he's not a jokester. I mean, he is, but not on this. He was like, honey, he said, there's no way this could have happened. Yeah. So he was back in the kitchen area of it, and I was in the front part where the little living room is, and I'm walking down. He hollers for me to come back there, and I come back there, and it's on video on my YouTube. If you go to the little short videos, you can go down and see him. He's recording as this happens. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, in this hallway right here, Merle's bunk, he wanted to be in the middle, and there's a queen size bunk in the middle of the bus. That's where Merle slept. There's lights down the hallway. The whole bus is completely dead. All of a sudden, the light starts doing this real weird, just in that section. And when I played Working Girl Blues, they started going crazy.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. And then afterwards, I was like talking, did you like that? I mean, and it was literally, it was crazy. And then later on that night, we had went to a friend that does these, like a ghost adventure type thing.
Right.
So we had went up there, and it was an old Confederate home that they were remodeling, and we'd already walked around with all these cameras and all this stuff, and we were sitting around like in the living room with these construction lights that sit in the floor that's plugged in like in a thing. But everybody was in that living room. Nobody else was around, out of their chairs. Everybody was right there. And we were doing a live, and that was videoed as well. And we're sitting there, and we go into telling our story about what happened on the bus earlier. And as soon as we mentioned Merle's name, the lighting behind us that was on the floor and behind us turned on and flipped on like this and went back off.
Oh my God!
Insane.
Wow! Wow!
Like instant. I was like, it's insane. It was crazy.
Oh God!
Unbelievable!
Yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Right, Doc? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, when you started out with your music, but before you met Dale, you had so many great things happen to you before that, and they're still happening. As your love affair increased with Dale, you've seen so many more abundance of things happen. Can you share some of them things with us?
Oh my gosh.
I know there's a lot of them, but just picking.
There's a lot. There's so many, and it's so crazy. Like, I know once, well, after me and Dale got together, and our love began and flourished and all that. It's like, and before that, lots of amazing things had already happened. And I feel like God always leads me and guides me. I've always said that. And it's like, he'll lead me to one person opens the door to this person opens the door. It's like he leads me in all the right places, that great opportunities are there and the people are genuine. I've not really had anybody, maybe a couple, but like I said, I hope that Santa brings them coal, because they will. But no, seriously, but so many great things. Like I said, gosh, all the people I've gotten to open up for, the promoters that have jumped on board. I've got to open up for Ronnie Millsap and Ronnie McDowell and Johnny Rodriguez and Randy Travis. I mean, come on. And T.G. Shepard and the Gatlin brothers. And oh my gosh, the list just goes on and on. And honestly, I can't say it yet, because it's not signed on the dotted line. But in February, there's going to be some huge news. I mean, it'll come before February.
Okay.
But there is a show that's going to be happening early February that I am so excited I get to open up for this person.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Oh.
I can't wait. Every time I see you, I have this overcome of just a feeling of greatness within you. And I see that when I see your smile and I see you're happy and I see your son's really happy and everybody's happy, it just makes me feel so good. I know you do that to everybody, because everybody's like, oh my God, she's an amazing person. She's a wonderful person. And I don't even know her, but I know I can see the way she is.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, that just, and I'm human. I do try. I mean, I've always been this way. I always try to be that person that's always lifting somebody up, that's always got a smile, that always tries to make everything right, even when, like, I might be even going through stuff that, oh my Lord, because I am human. I go through medical stuff. I go through this. And some days I just, oh my gosh, you would not want to see me going through the line taking cash to school. I mean, those women, when they see me at school and then they see me dressed up or they see me online, they're probably like, is this the same person? Like, yeah. So I am human, but I mean, I've always knew that, I want to take every day and thank God that He has given me this life and these beautiful moments and memories and my family and my music and making everything that's happened to be able to continue to do what I love to do. And I'm telling you, because my story, 3 years ago, literally, I was running away from abusive marriage, running away from everything I had, with cash on my hip.
Preach it, baby. Preach it.
No shoes on, running through a briar patch, getting just tore up, trying to get to help. And everybody, I mean, I thought my whole world completely was falling apart. And in that instance, God knew. He knew what He had for me. He knew
You had to get through it to get through it. You had to get through it to get to it. And that's what you did.
And I had faith because I said, God, I know you don't want me to go back, because he had wiped out every bit of the money in the bank.
Oh, wow.
I had nothing. It was during COVID. I had gotten laid off from my job, had nothing.
Oh,
I'm like, God, I know you don't want me to live in that. Lead me, guide me, direct me how you want me to do. And I'm telling you, the everything just, and I'm going to tell you a story. I was just telling somebody else the other day, and I might have told you this before, but I'm going to tell it again.
Go ahead, tell it.
But it was not long after that. I literally was coming back from trying to fight to get my stuff, just a few little things out of the house to be able to, and I had $20 to my name, $20. Right. Didn't have a place to go. I'm like, oh my Lord. I had one place that I was staying for a couple of nights, but it wasn't going to last long.
Right.
And I was driving down the road. I had cash in the back, and we pulled down to this little intersection thing. We got off the road, and there was a woman sitting there, and I still could see her just as plain as day. And she didn't have a sign. She wasn't begging. She looked sad, and she had her hands down, and God laid it on my heart. Like, give her that 20. Give her that 20. And I didn't question. I didn't question, say, man, that's the only thing I've got. Well, what am I going? I didn't do it. I rolled down my window, and she instantly got up, walked over, and tears streaming down her face. And she said, God bless you. And I'm telling you, from that moment on, Cash and I, we've never wanted or needed for anything. God supplied. He supplied the need. He supplied everything. He has made all of my dreams come true and more.
Absolutely.
So, and I will give him the glory. I'll shout it to the rooftops. And like with the gospel album, I did not even know I had put everything I had, that funds I had, into the Unleashed album. Didn't know how I was going to do a gospel album, but you know what? God knew.
Your story is so,
ballot of the Grammys. And
your story is so inspirational and so motivational to people. That's why I said, when they hear it, they're going to see that they were probably just like that, but there's another side. They just got to keep moving.
Yeah,
keep moving. It's,
I've wanted this my whole life. I love, and it's not that I want to be rich and famous, and then I want to sing. Right. I love to sing. I love being on stage. I love meeting people. I love that feeling that it gives me.
Yeah.
There's no other feeling like it. And I felt it. Well, my first time I ever got to sing on stage, I was 14, and I've got that video. It's on Facebook. Nice. And I got to sing one of my idols, which is Lori Morgan. I sang one of her songs when I was 14. And at that moment, when I was on that stage with a live band, I was like, that's what my daddy was trying to get me to do. All those years, he would have me singing and teaching me how to play the guitar. I knew he wanted to be a singer. He named me after Brenda Lee. I love to sing. I love to sing, but I did not know it. That's when it really got into my heart and who I was, and what I knew right then and there. There was nothing else I wanted to do. I mean, I've been everything. Like, that song, I've been everywhere. Well, I've been about everything. I've been a convenience store worker. I've worked in plumbing. I can tell you anything you want to know about your sewer lines.
I know you got to hang out with WSM, right? Tell us about that. Bill Cody.
Now I'm telling you, that right there, that's my second time I've gotten to do that. Which if you know how that's so huge, getting to be on there with Bill Cody.
Yeah, Bill is awesome.
And Kelly. And so after the award show, I got to go the next morning and be on the show, and they featured the song with me and Deborah Allen, because Deborah Allen was on the award show too, and she won a Lifetime Achievement.
Right.
Wow.
And she performed as well, and she's on the album. So they featured our song In the Garden. Nice. And then I got to sing Carolina Rain on there. And actually Wendell, the one that played with me the night before, and Emerald both come to the studio and played with me. And Oh man, just to be on there. Hopefully one day, maybe the Grand Ole Opry will open their eyes and I'll actually get to be on the actual Grand Ole Opry show. And I'll get an invite one day. I'm not going to ever give up on that dream.
It's definitely on the way. It's definitely on the way. I know you're working really hard.
But yeah, so it's most definitely that's still a dream of mine to get a play on the Opry stage. But yeah, WSM, that's a huge thing too to get to be on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And,
sure. Bill Cody's such a great radio personality. Fantastic.
He is amazing. And like I said, like Charlie is just so awesome too. And Kelly, Bill was off that day. And so Kelly was there. And so they were super amazing to me. And then I haven't got to then I won the Lifetime Achievement at the Bakersfield Music Awards. So
wow, congratulations on that.
We were both supposed to go, and me and Cash, we ended up staying back home, and Dale got my award for me. But he got to perform, and he was an honoree and got a Lifetime Achievement, and then I got mine too. So that was such a huge honor.
Absolutely. I love the rendition you did of Josh Turner's song, all right? Long Black Train.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's the single that is out now from my gospel album. And that one features Tony Jackson.
Nice.
You talking about just a stand-up great guy. He was a Marine. Well, he's still a Marine, but I guess once a Marine, always a Marine, but he's not in service right now. But just a great guy. Anytime I've ever needed anything or a favor from him, or hey, I've got a question about this, he responds right back to me. He's super, super nice, and he's got just a beautiful family. And this song, we didn't get to do it in the studio together. Right. He recorded his part in Virginia, and I did mine in Nashville, but it turned out so amazing. It's an awesome song.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about Burning Boats. Love that song.
Oh man, Burning Boats. That's probably one of my favorite slow songs that I've done. Besides Don't Say I Do. I love the Don't Say I Do, but Burning Boats, Bernie Nelson wrote that song along with Lou, and I'm going to say his nice name right, Lou Chandler. And then there's another guy, and I'm having brain fog. But anyway, they wrote the song, and Dale and I had already done the Christmas song, and he was on my gospel album with One Day at a Time. But we had not done a country song. Like, we had not done one. And so we were like, man, it'd be cool to do something fast and fun and, flirty and all that. Right. But when Dale sent me that song, I was like, man, I love that song. It's really pretty because it had a guy, it was Bernie singing through it. It wasn't a duet at the time. I was like,
right.
It's so pretty though. And I love, the meaning of it. Because at first I was like, burning boats, burning bridges, burning. And he was like, no, when you get on that shore and you're all in, you burn the boat, you're not leaving. You're in it for good. Exactly. And wow, I love that. And so when we recorded it, it just turned out so gorgeous. And we actually, have that in our wedding as well. And we recorded, for our first dance, we recorded Born to Be Your Woman.
Oh, okay.
And that was what we did. We released it the day of our wedding, as our wedding was taking place.
Wow.
Yeah, we released the song then, and we did our first dance to it. And, oh gosh, it turned out so beautiful too. So, most definitely down the road. I know he's finishing up his album now. He's getting ready to have another single come out, White Line Therapy, and getting all that done. I'm starting on this album, but most definitely in the future we will be doing a duets album. We've been talking about it. But we will in the future.
Definitely has to be done for sure.
It has to be.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be done.
Absolutely. Doc G, go ahead. What else you got for Lee Newton? I think we just lost her.
Lee, you still there? Oh, Lee, we just lost you. Oh my God, no.
So, but anyway, that was so much fun talking.
We'll give you a couple minutes to come back. Sometimes she said she had power outages. So
yeah. A lot going on in Tennessee right now.
Yeah, and she's not in Tennessee though. She's North Carolina.
Oh, she's North Carolina. That's right. Yeah, and she just actually came back from Nashville.
I can't believe it, Lee. We're going to give you a little time. Hopefully, you can get back in here. If not, we've really got to cut out in a couple minutes. We've got another show to do. I apologize for this. I don't know why it's happening.
Yeah.
Jimmy, who we got coming up, though? Do we have anybody coming up?
Next week we have let's see.
Heavenly Cream, is it?
Heavenly Cream's going to be here, right there. Now, tell us a little bit about Heavenly Cream, Doc. You know them.
Well, Heavenly Cream is supposed to be the new band that's formed like Cream.
Sort of like an acoustic.
Yeah, acoustic version of Cream, right?
Right. Okay. And it's I think one of the lead singer's sons is actually does the is part of the band.
I'm not sure if it's Jack Bruce or.
Yeah, I think it's Jack Bruce. I'm almost positive.
I think it is Jack Bruce. I'm not sure. I got to look at the email, but I'm excited because we're going to be putting together some more shows for you guys going into 2024. Jimmy and I are going to take kind of a little break, though. We're not going to do as much because I'm going to be doing more financial coaching and working at the studio a little bit more. So Jimmy and I are going to maybe do 2 shows, maybe a month, maybe one show a month. We'll see.
Something like that. But also the Burrito Brothers are going to be here, Doc.
Well, I got to confirm that, but that's something that we'll have to look into.
Next Monday, possibly, after Heavenly Cream.
Right after Heavenly Cream, yeah. So Lee, I want to apologize because we had an issue. We're going to give you another 2 or 3 minutes to come in. If you can't come in, then we're going to say goodbye. Oh, she's coming back. Here she is.
Back.
Okay, I'm back.
She's back with the vengeance.
Speaking of Dale, he just called, so it knocked me out.
Oh, I'm sorry. But you know what? We're going to end anyway in a couple minutes. We're going to end in a couple minutes.
I could see you guys, and I was trying to get back on, but
we understand.
So I had to like re-sign on, but he knew I was he knows I'm in an interview, so I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. That happens when people are on their phone, but you know, you look beautiful, you look lovely, and you guys are going to spend Christmas together.
Yes, he'll be back.
Can you give a message to people out there, basically, and say who you are, and you're listening to Jimmy Deal Show on Hamilton Radio, but a Christmas message? Can you add something like that?
Oh gosh, well, my name is Lee Newton, and I'm on the Jimmy Deal Show, and I just want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. And it's not about the presents, and it's not about getting caught up in all this hustle and bustle and running around to stores and going crazy and going in debt for everything. It's about being together and loving each other and enjoying all the different activities you can do to make memories. Because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, those presents are not going to matter to anybody. It's the memories.
That's right.
Memories that you have. And I will never, like I said, I'll never forget the memories I made with my dad. Being a little 5-year-old, I didn't care about presents. I do remember the memories we made together, riding around in the snow on that Christmas Eve, singing Christmas carols. So everybody just don't forget what the true meaning of Christmas is. And, it's Jesus' birthday. And
absolutely. The reason for the season right there.
Oh my God, it's so amazing. I just, like I said, I just think you're so perfect in every way. You really are. I know you're human, but you're superhuman. Okay.
Well, thank you.
And
so when are you heading back to Tennessee? I know you just came out of Tennessee, right?
Yes. So Dale, he's there now. He just got back to Nashville this morning. I know he's going to a Christmas party there, and he's going for the buses for kids. I didn't get to go this year. But he'll be there just to swing by and see them. And then he'll be back home on the 18th, and then we're going to celebrate, Christmas stuff. But then on January the 6th, that weekend, I'll be going back into the studio to record. And if anybody wants to be part of the album, I'm still working to get everything going. But if anybody wants them, I have little sponsorship packages from $25 on up. So, and you get to be a piece of the thing. Like in the Unleashed album, I did something kind of similar towards the end. but when you open it up, it's got everybody's name in it, like a thank you. But
that's so sweet.
So this is a little different. There's different levels of it. And like I said, on the business side, it's a little bit more intense. It goes on the website. But if you go to my website under sponsorship, everything's there. I've got everybody's names. All of my business sponsors are there. That's been a part of this upcoming album because they believe in me. So it's something really awesome. But I feel like that way I'm kind of giving back to them too, and they're helping me. So it's amazing.
Cool. And that Christmas music set is available too.
Yes, it is on the website also. And December 23rd, guys, I forgot all about this.
Go ahead. You got time. Go ahead.
Make sure you go and follow Coffee with Lee. That is my new show that I have. That'll be the first episode of this year. And it'll start next year. Of course, I'll be interviewing. There's going to be so many different things on this show. There'll be the first one will be a little different because it's the very first one. But in future, I'll be having different guests, inspirational guests, music. It don't even have to be music. I've got different guests from everywhere that's got inspirational stories.
Beautiful.
We'll be having a segment where we'll be showing you how to cook my Southern cooking plates because my cookbook is going to be coming out in early spring as well.
God, what's going on? Oh my God.
Cooking with Lee Country Soul.
I definitely want to go get a copy of that, Lee.
I definitely got to get a copy of that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I've got my everybody's been asking me over and over how I do my homemade biscuits. I'm going to give it away in my cookbook.
Cracker Barrel, look out. Here comes Lee Newton's biscuits.
I hear Diele really loves your cooking, right? I mean, he's going nuts with your cooking lately.
They always say that's the way to the man's heart. I'm telling you that you smile on Dale's face. I cook. I love to cook. But that's going to be December 23rd. So it's, I've got my own page on it. I've been building it up. December 23rd on Coffee with Lee. And everybody have a holly jolly Christmas.
Thank you, Lee Newton. I appreciate you coming on the show. I really appreciate it so much.
Oh, gosh. Thank you, guys. It's always, like I said, it's always such a pleasure. And I always look forward to it.
Please come back and update us even more.
I will.
Absolutely.
There's going to be so much more happen by next year. Oh, my God.
I know.
We'll keep in touch. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Lee.
Merry Christmas, Lee.
Thank you, Jimmy. Love you guys.
Love you too. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Lee.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Oh my God, she's amazing. Like I said, she's such an amazing lady.
Yeah, she is fantastic.
And all the people that she's met, and it's still, listen, there's one thing about Lee Newton. No matter what you see, you're going to get, because she's always humble. And that's what I love about her. She doesn't let this other stuff go to her head. And Jimmy, just like you and I, if we get bigger, we get stronger, we get, more people, that's wonderful. But it's still we're still going to be the humble people we are.
Absolutely. 100%. So 8:30, Doc, Stacey Johnson, David Merlin coming up. I just sent the link to them, so they should get it. We'll see you on the other side, guys. Talk to you later. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.